Buenas, soy Sebet, estamos en el capítulo número 13 de Final Fantasy XVI, vámonos.
Welcome back, Sid. Finish with that log so we can call it a morning.
Ah, mira, tú qué bien. Mercader y el martillo negro. Ahora, antes de hablar con el de esto... Ay, no. Ah, vale.
Look, it's Sid.
Staying long this time?
Recto.
I don't know. Perhaps I should just have Blackthorn make me a new...
Is it business or pleasure?
Nada nuevo. Elixir 10.000. Establece toda la vitalidad. Rellena la barra de límite durante 30 segundos, hostia.
Come again.
Oh,
Come again.
I'm not much bothered either way.
What do you need? Not saying Fordian, do you?
Fulmicita. Hay fulmencia.
If I do say so myself. Anything else?
No, ya está. Prohibido el paso, sí, te lo digo a ti, Manguirrean.
Have you been to the toll? I hear a new shipment's just...
Me estoy yendo donde tengo que ir, ¿verdad? ¿Qué es esto de aquí? No tengo nada más, ¿eh? Y esto no sabemos qué es. Es posible que sea en el New Game Plus eso, quizás.
Ah, there you are, Clive. Word of your adventures arrived this morning. Victor sends his thanks.
I doubt Kupka will miss the fools he sent to catch me. Not a single one of the bearers we saved showed any interest in coming with us. No one seems keen to join hands with an outlaw. Any news while we were away?
None worth mentioning. Gav's still off keeping an eye on the Republican army. Should be back any day now.
Understood. If anyone needs me, I'll be in the map room.
Still can't work that one out. There must be better places than the hull of a gutted airship to bury your nose in a book.
Yet this is where she's chosen to be. And I'm sure she has her reasons. I trust I'm not intruding.
Back from your mission? I'm beginning to think your habit of surviving cannot be attributed to luck alone.
One might say the same of you, Vivian Ninetails.
I'll have you know that only 4 attempts have been made on my life, and none was especially memorable. So, to what do I owe the honor? Could it be that you've come for one of my lessons?
Is that so hard to believe?
Very well then. Shall we start with the state of the realm? To absolutely no one's surprise, she finds herself at the mercy of armies and outlaws. Well, mostly armies. Though that's not for want of trying, is it, Clive? But the real question is, how did we get here? Long though Sambrek's dominion over northeastern Storm has endured, recent days have seen the Blight wrest ever more land from her grasp. For which reason she has continued to wage war on her rival across the strait, hoping to claim less blackened pastures. But Odin would sooner pawn his sword than Waloed relinquish Ash. And the Empire pays dearly for every blade of grass bent beneath Sambrequois boots. Little wonder then that Sylvester set his sights on the crystalline dominion, an altogether easier target, possessed of no less ether. It was 5 years ago, while you were busying yourself with the destruction of Drake's head, that the Empire made its move, subjugating its theretofore neutral neighbor. A nation which could legitimately claim to be the center of the world. Certainly, there is no better place to stage an army. From there, the Holy Empire's reach spans the Twins. The non-aggression treaty was the only thing keeping them in check. But if they truly broke the pact without provocation, it is only a matter of time before others reply in kind. The Holy Empire, the Dhalmekian Republic, the Kingdom of Waloed, and of course, our friends in Yaran. Who will be left standing, I wonder, when the last drop of blood is spilled?
You were born in Twinside. Do you not fear for your home?
Oh, dark clouds are wont to gather over the Dominion. Yet in spite of it all, she has ever endured. And when the storm has passed, I am confident she will. Now, as to the matter of payment for today's lesson...
Even. Right.
Return this volume to old tomes in the shelves. Tell him it was, adequate.
I suppose it wouldn't hurt to visit our resident historian.
Tutorial de lo que es el Vademecum. Oye, ya me lo bien hecho. El Vademecum. Sobre todo cum.
Lawsman Harpocrates.
Now that is a name I have not heard for a long time. So long, in fact, I had half forgotten it was mine. Welcome home, Clive. You were missed, as always.
I believe this belongs to you. Vivian asked me to return it.
Ready? Our resident scholar devours books faster than young Tet does lemon tarts. Would that I could do the same. But alas, I no longer possess the necessary constitution for such indulgence, either in words or tarts. That said, I have continued my search for mention of the creature you encountered at Drake's Head. But without access to the great libraries of Oriflamme or the Dominion, I regret that I have been...
Please, don't apologize. I'll send word to our associates. See if they can't...
I fear it is not more books that I require, but the right ones. Mayhap we look in the wrong places. There are...
I'll see what I can do.
You are too kind. There are not many in this world who would indulge the whims of a...
Not too tired to go filching Kupo nuts, though. Always got a pocket for him. Nicks him off the Moogle.
Hush now. We all know there's no such thing as Moogles.
The twins seem well.
Aye. Yet they laugh far too little. The loss of their parents weighs heavy on them. Titan took much from us that night. From some and the wounds that remain.
Which is why we must give them all the time they need.
That we must. Just as I must give you the time you need to recuperate.
Good day. Gav will be back soon. I should get some rest while I can.
Ah, Clive. A moment, if I may. You'll be pleased to hear that I've completed another volume. And while my collection is still far from becoming the 1,000 tomes that young Crow has quaintly dubbed it, I hope the knowledge chronicled, of course. I would not have penned half as many volumes without the tales you and the others bring back from your travels, for which generosity I...
Memorandum Ballistae.
I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before.
Memorandum Ballistae es un gran códice que te permite profundizar en los personajes, lugares, sucesos, criaturas y conceptos clave del mundo de Ballistae. Cuando Clive le cuente una aventura a Hipócrates, este adquiere nuevos conocimientos y añade nuevos términos que puedes consultar. Además, puedes volver a repasar todos los términos que han aparecido en el apartado de palabras clave del menú de pausa.
I have a few new notes that might interest you.
Clive le cuenta sus aventuras poco a poco. 2, 3.
I have quite the find for you today.
Eguni o Egui, término que ya aparece en antiguos manuscritos para referirse a aquellas criaturas compuestas por éter y engendradas a voluntad por varios dominantes. Un Egui es capaz de usar magia asociada al elemento de su creador y desaparece cuando éste muere.
You wish to study the tomes? You are always welcome, Clive.
Necesito alcanzar un nivel 5 con este pavo para el logro.
Not back a blink and you're already off solving everyone's problems. It looks good, Clive. Goes well with the scowl.
I'd had that brand for so long. I'd forgotten what life was like without it. What it was like to be myself. And it's all thanks to you, Talia.
The scalpel did most of the work. Ah, before I forget, a rider was here with a letter from Gav. Otto left it on your desk.
Not a stolus. All right, I'll have a look.
And then you get some rest.
What could Gav have thought worthy of a letter?
Once the hall's swept, it's over to the tavern crowd.
Durante el transcurso de tu aventura recibirás varias cartas de tus aliados. Algunas pueden activar ciertas misiones, así que no olvides leerlas. El ejército republicano marcha hacia Twinside para dejarle las cosas claras al Imperio y los petrosoldados de Kupka se han reunido con él en la capital. Se cuece algo bien gordo, te lo digo yo. Ya contaré más detalles cuando vuelva a verte sacar de vinagre que el fundador te ha dado.
What does Gav have to say?
The Republican army is on the march, leaving Randalar in Hugo Kupka's charge. With him and his men occupied with the defense of the capital, they're less likely to trouble us.
Good news, then.
It's more than that. This is our chance, the one we've been waiting for.
But look how far we've come. All that we have here, our friends, the hideaway, are they not cause for joy?
5 years. 5 long years. If I could only command this power I've been granted, we might have achieved so much more. Each time I reach for it, it's like something is holding me back.
Summoning an icon exacts a price not easily paid. Your body knows this only too well. It's merely trying to save you from yourself.
And every burden I cannot bear falls to you.
This mission of ours has made me question everything I thought I knew. But one thing has become abundantly clear. The crystals take more than they give. In exchange for momentary comfort, we must endure a lifetime of pain, war after war, loss upon loss. And now they rob us of our very homes, leaving naught but dust and ash. But you're trying to change that. We're trying to change that. And to me, that's no burden.
I know, but...
Try not to forget. We're only here because Joshua gave us a second chance. It would be a pity to waste such a precious gift.
He did. He was there. It wasn't an illusion. I heard him call out to Ultima. If Joshua is still alive, he'll be looking for that thing.
Do you think he will ever come back?
I know he will. And we must be ready when he does. To a world without mother crystals. To Sid.
Mientras tanto,
And so the North is lost.
I knew that the Blight spread ever more swiftly, Your Grace. But this is far, far worse than any could have imagined.
It is only a matter of time before the twins are no more. The world marches ever closer to its end, and here we chase shadows. Tell me, brother, are our efforts in vain?
Master Clive, a moment, if you... my apologies, I didn't mean to... intrude.
Not at all. We were just discussing strategy.
Speak freely, Otto.
It's Martha, from the inn. She's gone missing. Anyway, I'll be in the mess when you've finished.
Very well.
tiempos oscuros.
What would make Martha leave the rest?
Ay, es verdad, no puedo desde aquí. Que se cierren las puertas solo. Solas, quiero decir.
What do we know, Otto?
Some lads from the Imperial garrison in Rosaria started a fight. Blood was spilled, bones were broken. But somewhere in the middle of it all, Martha vanished without a word to anyone.
You think this was planned?
Of course it bloody was. Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tiny. They've strung up everyone who's ever set eyes on a runaway, claiming they're traitors to the Holy Throne. And now it sounds like the bastards have turned their attentions to the pallbearers meek enough to stay put. Naturally, old Martha could see the way the wind was blowing, complained that it was getting harder and harder to take.
And now she's missing. She's fallen into the hands of the Empire.
Couple of curse breakers are all. They should speed up the search. But if this is as bad as I think it is, you might end up having to save their own.
Don't worry, Otto. I'll make sure everyone...
Hay una misión secundaria cerca de aquí.
Of course.
Reúnete con los libertadores. ¿Cómo? Dime cómo salgo de aquí y yo lo hago. ¿Cómo salgo de aquí? Ya no hay misiones secundarias aquí, ¿eh? Han desaparecido.
What happened here?
Come on. We need to find the others.
We're best off staying where we are for now, I reckon.
Let's get you to a physical.
Sid? What said you'd be coming?
I trust you don't mind. Also thought you might need some help. And it appears he was right.
You, could say that, yes. They're saying the Imperials descended like a storm. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all our efforts got her were a pair of eyes.
Any idea where?
Judging by their tracks, they headed towards Sorrowwise.
To the Abbey, sheltering Martha's...
The bastards. Jill and I will go after them. You take care of the...
We will. But, before you go, one of the locals heard something. He said the soldiers were talking about, I don't know how big this is, but it doesn't sound good.
You do the same.
¿Qué me da? ¿Y es de qué?
Cole is right. That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
But a culling. Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
¿El perro? Ah, está aquí.
If those horses touch you.
Look. Up ahead. Martha, are you hurt?
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey who need you. You have to do something.
Tell us what happened.
What happened? The damn Black Shields, that's what happened.
The Black Shields?
The bastards caught wind. The Abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the sick, poor souls turned on the Imperials.
Then, Martha, do you think you can make it back to the inn? Cole is there with the other...
I think so.
Black Shields. Is this some sort of twisted joke? There has only ever been one Order of Shields in Rosaria, and they fought to defend all her citizens.
Seems a step too far, even for the Empire.
It's over.
Time to fight.
You're finished.
Are we too late?
There might still be someone inside.
Sí, los caballeros. O quizás no.
No.
Damn it.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offense.
And for their crimes shall they be punished. Such is the law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn.
How dare you speak those words? Have you no honor?
Clive.
This won't take long.
Enemigos derrotados.
Is that all of them?
I think so.
Diez de algo. Disminuir el tiempo de cargar las fulminas 3 segundos. Uy, es verdad, no me he equipado el otro...
I didn't see the abbot.
Otra
He may
cosa.
still be alive.
Sí, pero ¿qué me quito? Experiencia. 12 segundos, ¿sabes?
The abbot.
The bearers died protecting him. Calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive. He's breathing.
friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are. Every last one.
If only that were true. The Black Shields. Rosarium. Telmata. To Begsis.
Sid, where are you?
In here! We found a survivor!
Clive? He's gone.
We've laid the abbot to rest. But the bearers... they didn't need to die like...
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that awaited them and chose to meet it on their terms. Fighting for the...
Martha said they rose from their beds, threw themselves at the Imperials.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the top.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. Radix jump. If the abbot was still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the casting.
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the Imperials.
Restos mortales. Harriman, clase C. 6.000 de pasta, 10 no sé qué. Es una escoria. ¿Verdad? Escorias. Por todo el estadio encontrarás temibles enemigos llamados escorias, aunque supongan todo un reto. Al derrotarlos no solo tendrás guilds y renombre, sino también preciosos materiales para fabricar nuevo equipo y mejorar el que ya tienes. También puedes huir del combate si no te ves preparado. Para conocer más acerca de dónde encontrarlas y las recompensas que obtendrás si acabas con ellas, hablo con el mogul de la guarida Néctar junto al tablón de los anuncios.
What am I saying? Of course it has. It's a floating eyeball.
Muérete ya, cabrón. Vale, es que no se ve nada cuando estoy transformado. Como odio estos orbes.
Let's roll ready.
Toco pelotas. ¿Para qué sirve el renombre?
You didn't see that coming. That must be the bridge.
Hacer restos.
So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden, and bear it out to sea.
And now they are truly free.
I hope so. What of the Imperials?
A pyre was made. It's more than they deserve. We should go back. Cole is worried about Martha.
All right.
Pero vamos con el teletransporte, que es mucho mejor y más rápido.
We're best off staying where we are for now, I reckon.
No one survived then?
I'm sorry.
Doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean that Cole said you cast their remains. But it should have been me.
How? You could...
But I did. And I turned to death. The rumors started moons ago. Of black-clad devils descending on villages. I assumed it was all just nonsense. Nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand.
And in ordinary times you would have been right. But these black... Which begs the question, why do it at all? My mother obviously has a hand in this. I cannot make sense of her actions.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job for someone with more time on their hands. Right now, I need swords and men to wield them. If those Imperials think they can come in here again and threaten... Oh, before I forget, a Stolas from Otto landed just before you arrived. He asked me to tell you that Gav has returned.
Then we must as well. Will you be all right here, Martha?
We can stay longer if you wish.
No need. I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling. Though I wouldn't turn my nose up if...
Misión cumplida. Así.
Now, where's Gav?
Vale, un segundo. Aquí no. Aquí. Vale, ahora vuelvo. Vale, ya está.
I hear there's trouble. But none of the Cursebreakers are returned.
Ah, Clive! Oh, I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
Well, the two nations beat their shields. The rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the mother crystals. Four mother crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rossfield.
Lord Byron Rossfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rossfield. And you're a Rossfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune. Along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
Ahora está disponible la lista de misiones del tablón de anuncios y el rincón de mecenas. Nuevos lugares de interés de la guardia. Ahora puedes acceder a la lista de misiones, el rincón de mecenas y el tablón de anuncios. Los tres se encuentran en la toldilla. No voy a usar ninguno y voy a ir directamente por la historia. Full historia.
What are we waiting for, indeed?
Acantilado gañido del halcón. Sur de Rosaria.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Come on.
Lazos de sangre.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber.
Quiero ver si es posible cambiar. Sí, será posible quitar el icon, ¿eh? ¿Ves que aquí se puede quitar el icon? Lamus, sí. Fantástico, eso también se puede modificar. Por ahora Garuda no me gusta nada. Ah, estas garras tienen un montón de aturdimiento, ¿eh? Vaya, no lo sabía. Tormenta eléctrica. Me encanta el ataque de tormenta eléctrica. Quitar icon. Cambiar orden. Mola. Mola. Piro barrido. Ay, sí, ese que no uso. Ignición. Ordes. No, tampoco. Tequila todo. Vale. Se puede cambiar de icon. Fantástico. cerca.
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord help.
Quiet, you! Nothing will look.
Jill, look.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. It would be a pity to make examples of you all for the trans...
Of course, your lordship. You should...
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small? There's barely room to hide a bearer.
Then they must be here for something else.
You fancy dancing a gallows jig like the miller's son?
All right. I heard you the first time.
Así morderme, ¿quieres morderme? Morderme. Ay, mordiéndome. Pero duérmete ya, cabronazo. Estás aquí para dormir. Vale, ya está. Mercader ambulante.
Welcome, stranger.
Hoja de Gaia otra vez. Vender no. Vaya. Azul cobalto. Releno 6% al sufrir de daño. 24.000, ¿qué dices, loco?
Much obliged. I suppose we won't be seeing you again.
Pregunta a los aldeanos. Ah.
Word is, Port Isolde's closed her gates to all but the Highborn, and now a great camp sprung up along the walls.
Pues esta aldeana no era.
You seen him, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shield. At least I think there was a Black Shield. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited?
What do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harbouring fire. If only we were. I might have turned them in and become a Black Shield myself.
Vaya.
That's a fair old scar you got there, by the way. How'd you get it?
Espera. He salido del círculo.
Run along now. Before one of the boys starts thinking you're something you're not.
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was... The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants...
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprit.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know. But we need to find out. Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing those in...
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to say. You are to leave Amber and...
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads, some might call it submission.
But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will glad. This village will not become another...
Then we shall be on our way. These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosari would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperial? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
Tengo que ir por aquí, sí.
This pass will take us through the mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
¿Qué es esto?
Ever since the apothecary, we've seen more and more of these echoes.
What do you think is waking them? The mother crystals collapse?
I have an idea.
Quería esquivarlo, de verdad. Mierda. Vaya, más que bien. Guarda oscuro estupendo.
My mother's men.
No pienso gastar pociones.
Blood, Clive.
And still wet.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. And still, you would bear your steel. Why then, we owe you our thanks. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome.
Say that again. I'll show you a true shield of Rosaria. You're finished.
Ya está tan rápido, pensaba que aún quedaban enemigos.
Tell me what I want and the end will be swift. Who are you looking for?
Why, you... Your friends have been found. They await you in Old.
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
¿Atrás? Oh, no. Es otra aldea. Hostia, es que las alas estas tardan un huevo en recargar.
Find something, boy. Death.
Found her.
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone...
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But this...
Oh, Clive.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
We can't
Vaya.
leave him here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
Vale, tengo que ir por aquí. Pero esto será después, en el siguiente episodio. Así que eso, hasta aquí este capítulo. Soy Sevedat y nos vemos en un próximo directo vídeo. Chao.